Good morning. My dachshund and my friend's dachshund spent, oh boy, it's almost snowing, raining. First time in the tent last night, and I wanted to let you know how it went, and it wasn't terrible, but I'm gonna need a lot of coffee this morning. Um, this is Otter, my puppy. He's 6 months old, and this was his first time in the tent. This is what I call our deck tent. So, most dogs, I start out on the deck, just getting familiar with the tent. There goes my entertainment. Familiar with the tent, and then just during the day, and then we maybe spend the night in the tent, and that was last night. And then if everything goes well, we move out into the woods and we actually camp. But the idea of sleeping at home on the deck is that you can go inside and go to bed if you need to. Otter, Otter, Otter! Come here. Good boy. Yeah. Oh, no, come here. Oh, here's the other one. Come here, Brody. Come on. Oh, yes. Here's the other one. This is Brody that stayed in the tent for the first time. He's a long hair standard, and he's 2, I believe. I'm dog sitting him. So, okay, you guys. Anyway, so last night was our trial in the tent. And then there was also Summer and Gretel were in the tent, and they're seasoned campers and they love to sleep. And so we got in the tent last night. I actually put the rain fly on because I thought it was going to be in like the 60s last night, but then it all of a sudden turned to that it might rain a little and it was going to be in the 50s, low 50s. So I grabbed our other blanket and I put on the rain fly just in case. And then we went to bed in the tent. And it was already dark, but our neighbor's porch light is on, so that makes it kind of bright. And Summit and Gretel went under the covers and went to sleep right away. They know the routine. Noise doesn't usually bother them. One thing that I did that I personally like to sleep with white noise. So I got these little speakers. They were actually sent to me to try. The Electrofan Micro 2. I have 2 of them. And they have a setting, I don't know if you can hear it, let's see, yeah, where it's like fan, white noise. There's a couple different white noise things you can select. But then there's also a switch you can turn on that you can hook your Bluetooth phone to. So I had one running the fan for like a dull background white noise to drown out other other noise in the neighborhood, and one playing music. So that really did help. But Otter and Brody were a little bit confused because we hang out in the deck tent, but we don't sleep overnight. We weren't in the bed. And Otter still, he follows his sissies, and he also likes to sleep, and he's such a good puppy. He would sit up like alert, and he was looking out. The main problem, then he went to sleep and lay down, but he kept getting back up. And the main problem was that, there happened to be a lot of noise in the neighborhood last night. There were a lot of vehicles going by. I mean, we went to bed at like 10, but there was still a lot of vehicles going by. We generally live in a quiet neighborhood, so I don't know what was going on. And then I put the rain fly on, but then what happened is it was a little bit windy. So there was like this, and they could see the shadow. This door was, of course, closed, and they could see the shadow outside the tent because the neighbor's put light on the tent. And so every time the breeze would blow and the rain fly would do this, Otter was like, huh? What? Huh? And then Brody, he just sat up over here, like looking. This is what a lot of dogs do when they're anxious in the tent, is they'll just look like this the whole time. Like, what's going on? What's happening? Who's going to come get us? What noise is going to come next? And he did that for about an hour, maybe more. I fell asleep. But then I did wake up a couple hours later and peeked down, and he was sleeping. So after a couple hours, he went to sleep, which is good. That's winning. I mean, you can't expect him first time in the tent to love it and take to it and not wonder what's going on. I mean, Otter had never slept anywhere except in our bed. Come here, Otter. Otter, Otter, Otter. Yes, good boy. And so then I also wanted to give a quick update. So that's how the tent went. It was successful, but we're going to try the porch again probably, and hopefully won't be as noisy. But it might be better almost just to go straight to actual camping, because campgrounds, believe it or not, are I mean, maybe do believe it. Like I said, we live in a quiet neighborhood, are quieter overall. And that was the biggest thing, was the noise of the traffic going by, and like neighborhood noises. There were some dogs barking and stuff. And you can have that at the campground, but we camp on weekdays, so it's less. There's less of that. So anyway, I also wanted to give quick update on Otter. He is 6 months now, and he's been holding at, so he was a big puppy, so was Summit, and she grew fast and then stopped growing. I don't know if that's going to happen with him. I consider all my other dachshunds were stopped with their primary growing around 10 months. So he's still got a ways to go, but he's been holding at 10 pounds for 3 weeks now. So I kind of expecting another growth spurt, and he may be bigger than, a mini that cut off 11 pounds, but we don't care. But it is just going to be interesting to see. The growth pattern is interesting. It's not linear. He's still got the fat paws. Part of me hopes he doesn't keep growing and he keeps these cute, adorable, fat little paws. Not likely, but, and then his color, if you notice, is really darkened. So he looked like he had dust on him when I got him, like very pale. His eyes were pale. His hair was pale, and everything's darkened. His eyes have darkened. I mean, that's typical. Hey, buddy. Oh, good boy. Especially of Dapples, that's typical. And his eyes have darkened. His tan spots have darkened a little, but I think they're going to stay kind of pale like this. But the main difference is, like, so his chocolate points have gotten a little darker, but the light part has gotten darker. Like I said, it was like it had dust on it or something. And now it's almost got, especially in the sunlight, like a reddish tinge almost, even to his light dappling, the light color, which is a washed out, diluted, technical term, diluted of the chocolate. So anyway, that's my morning update, and that's how tent camping went. Stay tuned for the next time we actually go camping out in the woods.